Well, good morning, everyone. Kind of a different setting today because I don't know, my dog seems to be getting too old for walks. So, take her for a short little walk and then I go out on my own. And it's going to be a scorcher of a day today. And here we've been talking about how we haven't had rain it's going on 4 weeks now. But looking at the forecast, starting tomorrow, it looks like all of August is rain. So, there you go. Um, So we're reading through Zephaniah today. Zephaniah, um, the prophet, and it's sometimes reading through these prophets can be hard, as I was talking about yesterday, and because there's a lot of doom and gloom and such. But it's when you read through Zephaniah, I don't know whether you've had siblings where. You knew a sibling that they would tease you to death. They would give you a hard time. But anybody else lay a hand on you, anybody else tease you, anybody else cause you problems, and man, they're right there at your defense to protect you and help you. And we kind of get that. It's not a great way of describing it, but it's that kind of thing where the Lord has to bring in correction. But at the same time, he's going to go after those who are taunting and causing problems for Israel, because nobody gets to put a hand on Israel at all. It's by the Lord's direction, and then anybody step out of line, and he's gonna take care of that. So we get that kind of idea, but we also get here. That it is a very simple thing. The Lord is looking for relationship from them, and they rejected Him in it, and we know that. But here he outlines four things: the fact that they don't trust Him, they don't listen to Him, they won't take correction, and they won't draw near to Him. Just think of that for a second. They don't trust Him, and that's why they don't hear His voice. They don't pay attention to His voice, and that would be the prophets. And they don't accept correction. So they don't even recognize correction. They see punishment, but they don't see correction. The fact that He's not destroying them, he's trying to bring them to an understanding of what they're doing in order to save them. But they don't see that. They see it as punishment, not correction. And then the drawing near to Him, they turn to everybody else for help except for Him, and that's a big problem. And these are the things about relationship, and we can relate to this. Like, where are we in this relationship thing? That's a good question, because quite often we're failing in this thing of relationship, and we want what we want, and we want it now, and we want to be able to use Him like a genie in our pocket, and quite often we neglect Him, and we don't do what we're supposed to do in relationship. It's relationship, people. It's relationship that He wants. And I was just recently listening to somebody speaking about focus, and and Bill Johnson was talking about how probably in all of history, the moment that anybody is the most focused is during pregnancy. It's just in that moment. That's all they can think about. They're not thinking about the grocery list for next week. They're not thinking of all the bills that have to be paid. That moment of delivery causes such an intense focus that everything else just falls away. And when we're like that in the relationship, that's when we're going to see the most progress in intimacy. That's when we're going to see the things happen and change. And this is what we should be looking for, where that is our focus, the growing that relationship, that intimacy that we're looking for. So, can we get there? That's the whole question. Or can we be accused of any of those things? Are we in a place where we're not trusting the Lord? Are we in a place that we're not listening to His voice at all? We're not following the instructions. Is it possible that we're in a place of just rebellion, just complete rebellion, and seeing the things in our lives as punishment instead of any correction that He may be bringing to draw us closer to Him. And are we neglecting drawing closer to Him? Are we not doing that? Are we not pursuing that? Is that not important to us? And this relationship isn't like a one moment in the day or one moment in the week. This is an ongoing, constantly. He is always with us. He never forsakes us. He's involved in everything that we do. He wants to be involved in everything. He wants us to partner with Him. He absolutely loves us. He just loves us. We cannot even begin to fathom how much He loves us. Yeah, so where are we in this? Are we part-time? Are we cheating on Him? Are we partnering with other things instead of with Him? These are all good questions that we need to ask ourselves, because it is easy for us to think we're okay in relationship, whereas we have absolutely no relationship at all. We may worship Him, but we don't know Him. We may worship Him, but we don't walk with Him. We may worship Him, but He has no other involvement in our life. And that's not good. It's not good at all, because he chases after us. Yeah. So, thank you, Zephaniah, for, it's good to see. And obviously with the corrections, He also promises restoration. Don't miss that. Don't get so lost in the correction that all you see is the doom and the gloom. Listen to the promises and look at the restoration, and we know the history of it. So, you be blessed in this day. Seek Him with all your heart. Let's learn this focus thing, and see where He wants to take us. Have a great day. God bless.